Welcome to the deep dive. In today's world, there's just so much information coming at us. Staying properly informed, especially on complex topics, can feel like a full-time job.
It really can. You want to get the key updates, find those aha moments,
Yeah,
but wading through everything, it's tough.
exactly. And that's why we're here. Today, our mission is to really dive deep into the latest Salesforce Summer 25 release.
And this one feels particularly significant.
Yeah, it's not just ticking boxes, is it? This release, it looks like it brings a whole host of new features, new enhancements,
Yeah.
all really designed to boost productivity, streamline things, unlock new capabilities.
Absolutely. Across the board, really.
Yeah.
And to help us navigate all this, we're leaning heavily on the insights of a real expert in this space.
Right. Tell us about our source here.
Our main guide today is Raksha Sanganee. Now, if you're in the Salesforce world, you might already know her name. She's a very seasoned Salesforce solution consultant and architect over at Fluido Infosys. Been doing this for, over 5 years now?
Okay, so she knows her stuff.
Oh, definitely. And her credentials. They really speak for themselves. We're talking over 50 certifications total, including 15 specific Salesforce certs.
15. Wow.
Yeah, and 15X All-Ranger status, 35 super badges, something like 1450-plus badges on Trailhead. It's genuinely impressive.
That's some serious dedication.
It is. And what's great for our deep dive is that her insights come from this really comprehensive blog post she put together. She published it in the UK Salesforce Consultants and Contractors community on LinkedIn, a group she actually co-leads.
Ah, so she's sharing her knowledge right back into the community.
Exactly. Plus, she's got recognitions like being a Capato Global Award winner, a Woman in IT nominee. Her technical skills are broad, too. Apex, CSS, HTML, JavaScript, LWC, VF, GitHub, Python. The list goes on.
Okay, so deep technical knowledge and community focus.
Right. And she even founded the Salesforce WP WhatsApp groups that stands for Woman Power and Work Power. It just shows that commitment.
That kind of structured thinking, especially for something as massive as a Salesforce release, is exactly what we need. And she's used that approach to guide us through this Summer 25 update.
Precisely. Her methodical way of breaking it down is super helpful.
So, thinking about that sheer volume, when someone like Raksha faces a huge release like Summer 25, how does she even start? Where do you begin with all that information?
That's a really good question, and it gets to the heart of her practical advice. She basically says start with the foundations. For her, the release in a box document was, and I think this is her phrase, a real gem.
A release in a box, okay.
Yeah. She found its feature summaries were just invaluable for getting that quick, big picture view of what's new in each product area. And critically, it includes helpful links.
Ah, so direct pointers to more detail.
Exactly. Links to demos, further learning docs. It makes going deeper much, much easier, so you don't just get lost scrolling through endless notes.
That makes sense. Filter the noise first.
Right. And it also tackles that key problem. How do you know what's actually relevant to you? Raksha pointed out the user categorization feature in there.
How does that work?
It color codes the features, for admins, for business users, for developers, so she could quickly zoom in on what mattered most for her role.
Smart. Helps you prioritize.
Definitely. But she also made a really important point. While it helps you focus, it also encouraged her to look at features for other roles, to kind of broaden her understanding of the whole platform's direction.
Ah, so don't just stay in your lane completely.
Exactly. And her biggest piece of advice, her key takeaway from that initial phase was don't just skim.
Huh. I like that. It's so easy to do, isn't it? Just read the headline.
Totally. But she insists the real learning, the useful stuff, happens when you actually click those links. Explore the demos, engage with the material, not just passively reading summaries, active learning.
Don't just skim. That's a great mantra for tackling these releases. So, okay, building on that, what did Raksha say were her absolute must-dos or non-negotiables for anyone listening right now who wants to really understand Summer 25?
Yeah, she boiled it down to 3 key recommendations based on how she approached it. First, she said taking the release highlights trail on Trailhead is absolutely essential, non-negotiable.
Right, get hands-on.
Exactly. She feels Trailhead's interactive style is just the best way to really internalize the new features. Second, once you've got that overview, then dive into the detailed release notes.
Okay, so trailhead first, then the nitty-gritty details.
Precisely. That's where you get the really comprehensive understanding of everything. And third, she really stressed joining the Release Readiness Trailblazers group.
The community aspect.
Yeah, hugely important. You get real-world insights, see how others are tackling things, ask your specific questions. It's invaluable.
That's a really solid roadmap. Trailhead, release notes, community. Okay, let's shift gears then. Let's get into the heart of Summer 25 itself. Raksha noted this release touches every corner of the platform.
It really does seem pervasive.
And the theme that just keeps cropping up, weaving through almost everything, is AI, right? Specifically, this term Salesforce is using, Agent Force.
Yeah, let's maybe clarify that quickly. Agent Force seems to be Salesforce's banner for these new AI-powered sort of autonomous agents. They're designed to handle specific tasks, specific interactions across the different clouds.
Okay, so like intelligent helpers or co-pilots built into the system.
That's a good way to think about it. Assistants that can streamline workflows, provide insights, handle some tasks on their own.
Got it. So with Agent Force in mind, let's unpack the impact. Starting with sales teams, we know they're always fighting against, manual data entry, try not to miss opportunities. How does Summer 25 help them specifically?
Right. For sales, Agent Force for sales looks like it could be a real game changer. Imagine your pipeline getting updated with AI suggestions based on your actual sales conversations.
Okay, that sounds powerful. Less manual updating.
Exactly. It's about shifting sales from being reactive, from being heavy on data entry, towards something more proactive, more insight-driven. The system itself becomes a smarter co-pilot, flagging things, reducing that admin burden.
So reps spend more time selling, less time logging.
That's the goal.
Rep.
And we're also seeing sales coaching enhancements becoming available everywhere, even on mobile, so teams can learn and improve constantly, on the go.
Continuous improvement built in.
Yeah. Plus, Einstein Activity Capture is now bringing customer emails directly into Salesforce activities automatically. That gives a much fuller picture of engagement without someone having to copy-paste everything.
Okay, that's huge for sales. Now let's talk service. Enhancing customer experience, employee experience, always top priorities there. How does Summer 25, especially with Agent Force, tackle these?
Agent Force really seems poised to make a big impact in Service Cloud. For customer service, think about AI agents actually resolving customer emails autonomously.
Autonomously, really?
Yeah, for certain types of inquiries, presumably. That could be massive for reducing backlogs and freeing up human agents for the really complex, high-empathy interactions.
Okay, I can see the value there.
And it also enables proactive asset service scheduling. Using asset data, Agent Force can actually schedule service calls before something breaks, moving from reactive fixes to predictive maintenance.
That's a big shift in operations.
Definitely. And it's not just customer-facing. Agent Force for employee service aims to speed up resolving internal employee inquiries, less time waiting for HR or IT support.
Improving the internal experience, too.
Right. And it helps with self-service, too. Dynamic conversations can surface relevant portal articles or info based on what the customer is asking Agent Force in real time, empowering them to find answers themselves.
Making service smarter and faster all around. What about marketers? How does Marketing Cloud evolve here?
For marketers, there are some really practical updates, things that give more control and better insights. For instance, the new HTML code view in the email builder.
Direct code access.
Exactly. For those who need that pixel-perfect control over email design, being able to directly edit HTML and CSS is a big win.
For the design perfectionists.
Yeah, you got it. Then there's personalization for email, which uses real-time recommendations. That's about making emails more relevant, more engaging by tailoring content based on what the customer is doing right now.
Moving towards truly dynamic content.
Yeah, it's all about making marketing more targeted, more efficient, and ultimately connecting better with where the customer is in their journey.
Okay, switching over to e-commerce. What's exciting in Commerce Cloud? What kind of problems are these updates solving for online businesses?
Commerce Cloud gets some nice boosts, mainly focused on streamlining things. The composable storefront enhancements are about getting stores live faster with flexible pre-built components.
Reducing time to market.
Right. And a specific example is order on behalf of becoming an out-of-the-box feature.
What does that enable?
It means, say, in a B2B context, a customer service rep can easily place an order for a client directly in the system. It's a common need, now built in, saving custom development time.
Making complex B2B scenarios easier to manage.
Exactly. And Data Cloud for B2C commerce enhancements are really key too. They focus on unifying all that B2C customer data into a single profile within Data Cloud.
The single view of the customer.
Precisely. which is absolutely crucial if you want to deliver those truly personalized, consistent experiences across every channel, every touch point.
Makes sense. So, with all this data being generated and unified, what does this release mean for the data enthusiasts, the analysts? How does it make data more accessible?
Well, for data folks, the big theme seems to be democratizing access, making insights easier for everyone to get. Agentforce for Analytics is a prime example with its concierge feature.
Concierge, what does that do?
It lets users ask questions about their data using just natural language. Like typing, show me sales trends for Q2 in the Northeast. And it gives you answers with visual insights, charts, etc.
So, less reliance on complex report building.
That's the idea. It transforms raw data into something understandable and actionable, even if you're not a dashboard guru.
That could be really powerful.
Yeah. And then there's tableau semantics. This is interesting. It uses semantic learning so the AI can expand its own knowledge through real-time Q&A.
The AI learns as you use it.
Kind of. Think of it like the analytics tools getting smarter over time, like a human expert gaining experience. It leads to better self-service analytics because the AI gets better at understanding complex data questions.
Continuously improving intelligence. Okay, let's talk automation and integration. MuleSoft and Flow are foundational for so many companies connecting systems. What's evolving there?
Absolutely key areas. A big architectural step is MuleSoft MCP support. MCP stands for Model Context Protocol.
Okay. What does that mean in practice?
Think of it as a kind of universal translator for AI. By standardizing on MCP, MuleSoft applications can now talk to and integrate with basically any AI agent or model much more easily.
So it simplifies connecting different AI tools?
Exactly. It removes a layer of complexity when building those intelligent, connected experiences across your company, regardless of which specific AI models you might be using.
That sounds significant for future-proofing integrations.
It is. And for Flow users, MuleSoft for Flow introduces an integration query builder, a visual way to filter and fetch records from other systems and integration templates to speed things up.
Making integration building easier within Flow itself.
Right, more accessible. And Flow Builder itself gets some love. There's a new debug details panel with better filtering and search. Developers will appreciate that.
Quality of life improvements are always welcome.
Definitely. And then there's Einstein drafted flows and summaries. AI helping to actually draft flows based on natural language descriptions and automatically summarizing existing flows.
Wow, AI writing automation logic.
And documenting it. That's a genuine leap forward for speeding up flow development and making flows easier to understand later.
Okay, shifting to collaboration. Slack is central for so many teams now. What's new there?
Slack's role as that collaborative hub is definitely being reinforced, especially with AI. Enterprise search gets a boost from generative AI.
How so?
It aims to connect data from all sorts of different apps into one unified, secure search experience right within Slack. Find information faster wherever it lives.
Breaking down information silos.
That's the goal. There's also a new unified to-dos and calendar view, bringing tasks and meetings together in one place in Slack to reduce context switching.
See everything in one spot.
Nice. Yeah, should save a lot of clicking around. And Salesforce channels let you connect any Salesforce object, like an account or an opportunity, to its own dedicated Slack channel.
So conversations stay tied to the specific record.
Exactly. Makes it much easier to collaborate around specific deals or cases, keeping discussions and actions linked together. Streamlines workflows.
All right, what about the underlying platform, the tools for the developers building on Salesforce?
Yeah, the core platform and dev tools see some really nice enhancements focused on productivity and data quality. Agentforce for developers is a big one.
More AI assistance for coders?
You bet. Things like a dev assistant, inline code completion suggestions, and even automated test case generation for Apex and LWC.
Automating test writing, that's huge.
Should significantly boost developer productivity and hopefully lead to higher quality code, catching issues earlier.
Makes sense. Anything else for developers?
A really important one is data mask and seed. This lets you populate sandboxes with realistic but anonymized test data.
So developers get good data to test with, but without using real sensitive customer information.
Exactly. It's a massive win for accelerating development safely and ensuring compliance. Better testing, faster deployments.
Crucial for reliable development cycles. Okay, let's talk trust and the core intelligence. Trusted services, data cloud, Einstein AI. This is the engine powering a lot of what we've discussed. What's advancing here?
Yeah, this is really fundamental. In Data Cloud and Einstein AI, we see things like AI-based tagging and classification. automating the labeling of data and metadata,
Making data easier to organize and find.
and govern, which leads to policy-based governance. This allows companies to create and enforce rules about who can access what data, including dynamic masking of sensitive fields, crucial for security and compliance.
Tightening data controls.
Right. And technically, something called RAG 2.0 is important here. RA stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation.
Okay, breaking that down.
Think of it like giving the AI a library and really specific instructions on how to search it effectively. RA 2.0 makes Agentforce better at pulling accurate and relevant information from your knowledge bases or data sources.
So better answers, fewer AI mistakes or hallucinations.
That's the goal, making the AI responses more trustworthy. And finally, the zero-copy framework is a really big deal architecturally.
Zero copy.
Yeah, it essentially allows data to be accessed and analyzed where it lives without needing to physically copy it between different systems or Salesforce clouds.
So data doesn't have to be moved around constantly.
Right. It's a huge leap for data integration and fluidity. You can use data across the platform, connect to partner data lakes like Snowflake much more efficiently and securely without creating lots of copies.
That sounds foundational for connecting everything together.
No.
Now, this brings up a key question. How do all these innovations, especially Agentforce, actually help specific industries? It's great having broad tools, but tailoring matters.
Absolutely, critical point. And that's where the industry cloud updates come in. Raksha really highlighted how this release brings very targeted AI and efficiency gains tailored to different sectors. Agentforce isn't just generic. It's being applied to specific industry problems.
Can you give some examples?
Sure. Like in Revenue Cloud, Agentforce is being used for quoting automation, using natural language to help generate complex quotes faster.
Streamlining sales for specific products.
Exactly. Or in Net Zero Cloud, Agentforce can assist with ESG insights and reporting, making sustainability tracking easier.
Okay, that's very specific.
Right. In Education Cloud, Agentforce can help with student recruitment tasks. In Health Cloud, it's tackling things like quoting for procedures, budget planning, even patient access tasks.
Applying AI to core healthcare processes.
Yeah, freeing up healthcare professionals. For nonprofits, there's enhanced volunteer management, giving a 360-degree view, and a better gift entry grid for donations.
Directly impacting their operational efficiency.
Totally. It really demonstrates how Salesforce is taking that core AI power and tuning it for the unique challenges and workflows of different industries. It's about tailored solutions, not just generic features.
It's really clear then that Summer 25 is, well, it's a massive release. The way Agentforce and AI are woven through almost everything feels like a real foundational shift. It's changing how organizations can even think about operating.
Spot on. And that really leads back to Raksha Sanganee's call to action from her analysis. Her message was simple. Go forth and explore.
Dive in and see for yourself.
Exactly. She firmly believes that whether you're an admin looking at permissions, a dev using the new AI tools, an architect designing solutions, you will find things in this release that significantly impact your work.
So the homework is clear.
Yeah, the next step for anyone listening is definitely head over to Trailhead, find that Summer 25 release highlights trail mix, and just start digging in. That's where the real learning happens.
Okay, so a final thought for everyone listening. Given this pervasive integration of Agentforce and AI across literally every cloud, what's one immediate way you could start using these intelligence features? Not just to save a bit of time, but to fundamentally rethink how your organization delivers value, either to your customers or maybe even your internal teams.
That's a great question to ponder.
Something to think about. Until next time, keep diving deep.